Hello guys, it's Vorpal Planing here. I'm starting up the new series, Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. Now I played this several years ago when it came out on Steam and I really enjoyed it. And I actually played it way back in the day when it first came out. So I'm really looking forward to playing this with you guys and getting your feedback. So this is a D&D based campaign, and I've been playing the tabletop version of D&D for quite a while. We've been playing several games here where I've been DM and also been a player character, and I've really enjoyed it. So I decided to replay through Icewind Dale and share some of that enjoyment with you guys. So let's get started. I'm going to skip the intro. I was able to post it earlier. It's
They
episode
say
0. So if you're interested in the intro, feel free to check out the episode 0. For single player, that's how we get started here. I was able to spend some time earlier today pre-rolling some characters, but I want to show you guys this character generation. Basically, you select the gender, the race, the class, the alignment, the abilities, skills, appearance, and name. It's the same exact thing you do in pre-generation as you do starting a new game, but with pre-generation you get to export and save that character for later, which is what I did earlier today. The other thing I did do is for abilities, for every character I aimed for a minimum total ability roll of 84. And I did use the reroll function until I achieved at least that value. So I didn't type in the values, I used the legitimate reroll function, but I did look for a minimum score of 84 and then distributed those points across the abilities as they made sense for that player character's class. Starting a new game goes into create party. These are not the characters I created earlier today, these are the out of the box characters created. So I'm going to remove these, and in their place I'm going to start adding the characters I created earlier today. Deanne's our lawful good paladin. I'm going to add her to the party. Next is Gelvin, our lawful good cleric. After our cleric, I did roll Laverne as an illusionist, but I changed my mind and decided I wanted to add a monk to the party. And yes, I do know it's going to be difficult to keep the monk alive early in game, but I think later in the game she really becomes super powerful. So I'm going to keep her at the back of the party and kind of nurse her along until she gets a few levels. But I think later in the game we're really going to enjoy that decision. So I'm going to add Nesbeth the monk here. Next, I'm going to scroll through some of the pre-made characters. Regis. Regis is our halfling thief. Now, for him, rather than a high hide and shadows stealth value, I put more points into finding traps and opening locks and disarming traps. I really think with the other heavy hitters in the party, rather than putting a lot of effort into making him a stealthy backstabber, that we'll get more value out of the find traps, disarm traps, and open locks. So I'm going to add Regis to our party. Next, you probably saw run underneath Regis was our archer Strider, and I'm going to add him to the party. And then finally, to cap us off, our heavy hitter Tavalmish, the half-orc fighter, who has a strength of 19. So we end up with a paladin, a cleric, a monk, a thief, an archer, and a fighter. So with that said, let's get started.
our tale begins here, in the quiet fishing village of Easthaven, one of the so-called 10 towns of Icewind Dale. The tiny community is hardly a town, but rather a collection of ramshackle huts crowded together upon the icy shores of Lech Dineshire. Here, within a dimly lit tavern, a group of travelers sit huddled around a table, swapping tales and making grand plans for the future, completely unaware of the part they are to play in the events that are about to unfold.
What's this? New face in town, eh? Well met, stranger. The name is Hrothgar, originally of Hillsfar. But now, after years of traveling up, down, and under Faerun, I am content to call this town my home. Who might you be?
Greetings, Hrothgar. My name is Dion.
Well then, welcome to Easthaven. Whatever your business in these parts might be, I would offer you this small piece of advice. While you're in my town, you do well to be on your best behavior. These folk are under my protection, and anyone who would seek to do harm to them in any way shall answer to me. That said, I'll let you get back to your cups. I'm sure you've had a long journey, and you'll find there's no better way to shake off the cold of the road than by downing a few mugs of Grisella's best. And if you're in need of lodging, I would recommend talking to Quimby over at the Snowdrift Inn over on the east side of town. Equipment and supplies can be purchased next door at Pomab's Emporium. Pomab's prices are a bit high, even for a Kalashite. But you'd be better off well-equipped and short of coin than the other way around. Ill-prepared travelers don't last long in these parts. Once you've had a chance to rest up and get your bearings, come by and see me at my house. It's just a couple doors west of here. There's some business I would discuss with you. Farewell.
Farewell, Hrothgar. I think that's good advice. Let's gather up the party. We need to head over to Pomab's Emporium. At this point, everyone in the party has no armor and no weapon other than a quarterstaff. We're not going to make it very far. So let's head into Pomab's and gear up. Now before we start the gear up, let's take a look at a couple of things. For Deanne, she's proficient in Warhammer, Flail Morningstar, and Mace, and she has the fighting style of Sword and Shield. So we'll get here a Warhammer or a Mace and a Shield. We'll probably also grab a helm and the best armor that we can afford for her, since she's on the front line. Gelvin, our cleric, is proficient in Flail and Morningstar and Mace. He has no weapon style and he has no Sword and Shield, so we'll probably get him a small shield, the best armor we can afford, and probably a mace as well. Nesbeth, our monk, probably best no armor and no weapons, so we may grab a potion pouch for her to carry or a dagger or something, but beyond that, that's about the extent of what we're going to equip her with now. Regis is proficient in short sword and single weapon style, so we may get him leather armor and a single short sword, maybe a dart or something for ranged ability, probably a gem purse, but beyond that, not a whole lot of gear that we need to buy for Regis. Strider's proficient in short sword, as well as scimitar Wakizashi Ninjato, and longbow, +2 weapon style. So for Strider, I'm thinking studded leather, plus hopefully a composite longbow and arrows, maybe scimitar, maybe dual scimitar if we can afford it and if they're in stock. No helm and no shield for Strider. For Tavalnish, with a 19 strength, he's proficient in two-handed sword and halberd, and his fighting style is two-handed weapon style. So we're going to grab him the best armor and a helm that we can afford. No shield, but definitely look for a halberd for him. Other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot more gear that we need to buy for him. With that said, let's chat with Pomab and see what he has. What's this? More barbarians come to my shop? No doubt with nothing to barter with but more wolf pelts and polished stones. Very well. Let us get this over with. What do you want? Barbarians? I think you're mistaken, my friend. Am I now? I do not think so. All of you northerners are the same to me, smelly and barbaric. Northerners? I take it you think we're from around here. I am Pomap Akhazmar, Royal Diplomatic Envoy of the Kalimshan and appointed overseer of the northern trade routes. Forgive me, your lordship. I had no idea. Yes, well, where I'm from, one would normally be beaten for such insolence. Be thankful that I am a merciful man. Now, what can I do for you? I'd like to see what you have for sale. Alright, so for Deanne, oh, we've got 710 gold. So let's sell her quarterstaff. We're going to pick up Deanne Splint Mail and then Horned Helm so I could spot her in combat. We did decide to get a shield, so let's get her a medium shield. And then I think we decided Warhammer or Mace, right? So let's see, Warhammer is 1d4. How about that Mace? 1d6 plus 1. Okay. 2d4. So the minimum damage on the Morning Star is 2 and the maximum is 8. That may be actually the better choice. Let's look at the flail. 1d6. Let's go with the Morning Star for Deanne. So that looks like everything for Deanne. Then Gelvin. Gelvin was our mace guy, right? Flail, mace. Let's get Gelvin a flail. Let's sell his quarterstaff. And then we decided, although he doesn't have sword and shield, we'll get him a small shield. And then so I can spot him in combat, we'll get him the cross helm with the plume. And we'll get him splint mail since he's on the front line. Alright, that looks right. Nesbeth. No armor. We'll get a dagger for her. And a potion bag. That'll be it. And we'll go ahead and sell her quarterstaff. Regis, sell his quarterstaff. Get his gem bag. And then we decided short sword plus let's go with leather armor for him. Alright, that looks correct. Strider, let's sell his quarterstaff. Let's get studded leather for him. No helmets. We did decide scimitar. We'll just buy one scimitar for now. And then we definitely want to see a composite longbow. Fantastic. And then several arrows. That looks good. Let's buy some more arrows. Awesome. And finally, to Volnish. Sell that quarterstaff. We'll get him a splint mail. Then the winged helm. No shield. And he's our two-hander, so let's hope they have a halberd. I wasn't paying attention earlier. Halberd. Beautiful. Alright. Now while I'm thinking about it, let's reorder our party to make sure we get the right folks on the front line. So Paladin and Fighter, and then Cleric and Thief, and finally Archer and Monk. And before we forget, let's go ahead and equip everybody. Deanne with armor, shield, helm, Morning Star. To Volnish, halberd, armor, helmet. Gelvin, shield, flail, Regis. Armor. Short sword. Strider. Bow. Ammo. Studded leather. And Nesbeth, nothing. So, Dexter armor class, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Sword and shield solid. Good deal. Alright, everyone's geared up. Let's go find Crossguard. He said it was to the west, so let's follow along the path west. Let's see, that was the fishmonger. This is Hrothgar. Looks like it.
By your leave.
So let's chop to Hrothgar.
Well met, friend, and welcome to my home. Make yourselves comfortable, but try not to break anything. Many of these curiosities that you see lying about have sentimental value.
Where did you get all of this stuff?
Oh, they're all remembrances of my adventuring days. Little trinkets and the like that I picked up here and there. More keepsakes than valuables, really. Leftovers from my days of fortune and glory.
Adventuring days. So you're retired then?
Semi-retired, actually. This region is still untamed and fraught with many dangers. I've had plenty of opportunities in the last few years to take up my sword and shield and do battle with those who threaten the safety of Easthaven and its neighbors. In fact, I'm planning such an expedition right now. That is what I wanted to speak to you about.
What sort of expedition?
We've received word from Kaldahar, our neighbors to the south, that evil forces are stirring nearby in the spine of the World Mountains. I am organizing and leading a party from Easthaven south to Kaldahar Valley to investigate. You look to be capable enough. Perhaps you'd like to join us. What say you?
What sort of evil forces are we talking about?
I don't really know. The messenger wasn't too specific. I suppose if you want more details, you could ask old Everard over at the temple, but time's a-wasting. We need to get this expedition moving before the snows seal off the pass to Kaldahar. So what's it going to be? Are you in or out?
Sounds exciting. Count us in.
Excellent. Glad to have you on board. I plan to assemble the rest of the expedition and set out for Kaldahar within a few days. With storms brewing in the mountains, I'd rather we depart sooner. But there are matters that require my attention here about town.
What sort of matters? Perhaps we can help.
Actually, now that I think about it, maybe you can help. Pomab, the local shopkeeper, has recently expressed concern over the rapidly thinning stock of his store. He's been complaining that the regular caravan from Caravan is long overdue, and that if they don't arrive soon, he's sure to be out of business. Now, normally I take Pomab's whining with a grain of salt, but with heavy snows on the way, it would be best to make sure that caravan makes it through.
So what is it you want me to do?
I want you to find that caravan. Leave town by way of the South Bridge and scout the hills west of Loch Dinnershire, between Easthaven and Caravan. Caravans always stick close to the shoreline this time of year. Once you find it, see the caravan safely to Easthaven. In the meantime, I'll assemble the rest of the expedition and make the final plans for our journey. Return here as quickly as you can. We must make for Kaldahar Pass while the weather is favorable. Good luck. Safe journey.
Farewell. Alright, let's
Watch me work.
head south.
My pleasure.
So I'll just follow this path south of the town. There's Pomab's Emporium. Found the Snowdrift Inn. That's good to know. We're probably in good shape now, so no need to spend the night right now. We'll head our way south and... What? Help monsters? Quick! We've got to get a Hrothgar. There are monsters in town. They almost ate me. Whoa, slow down there. What are you talking about? Monsters. A whole bunch of them. They came down to the shore while I was fishing. I dropped everything and ran when I saw them. But they didn't chase me. I thought they were going to eat me, but I guess they were just after my fish. Where are these monsters now? Just over the bridge, down by the lake. My dad told me not to fish so far out by myself, but I can't help it. That's where I catch the big ones. He's gonna kill me when he finds out I've lost today's catch. All because of these stupid monsters. Don't worry. We'll deal with these thieving monsters and get your fish back. Alright, so let's go to Heavy 3. And let's see if we can get Regis into the shadows. I know this may be a little annoying to watch, but I would like to get Regis into the shadows and scout ahead of us. Come on, Regis. How about you, Strider? How about you, Nesbeth? How about you, Regis? Yes. One more time. Alright, we'll do this the old fashion. Aha! Now let's split the attacks up a little bit. We'll get Strider on this. Ooh, Goblin Elite? Yeah, for sure. We'll get these two guys on this one.
Yeah.
And then these two guys on that one.
Your life is forfeit.
Alright, Nesbeth's taking a little damage, but we've taken out the Goblin Elite. Let me go ahead and pull her back.
On it.
We're gonna make short work of these guys. Let's get the guy in the back with the archer. We'll get these guys. Hanging up on that. Almost there, guys.
This one's mine.
And that's everybody.
Watch me work.
Regather the party.
My pleasure.
And then what I'll do is I'll send... Actually, let me heal her up before I send her out. I'm gonna let Tavanish work the gear because he's a little bit stronger. Maybe he can carry more items.
Ready. Done.
And then now that Nesbeth is healed up, we'll get her out. Now, being a monk, she has a really good movement speed. So between her and Regis, I'm going to let them do the scouting. Alright. Nesbeth,
On it.
take a look around this corner, make sure there's no hidden ambushes. Okay, good. Nothing there. Come back over here and take a look. Tavanish, grab this gear. Oh, we found the rest of this fish. Alright. Let's grab everybody. Let's go back and
By
visit
all means.
Homad. Let our lad know that we found his fish. Or what's left of it. You're back. Were you able to get my fish from those monsters?
Today's your lucky day, boy. Here's your fish. Or at least, what's left of it.
Thanks. I'd best be getting home now. My da's worried about me.
Farewell.
Alright, we were able to help him so he didn't get into trouble. Let's go back to Pomab and sell him some gear since his wares are getting short-stocked.
Done.
We'll let Tavalnish do the selling. And sell. Ooh, high quality Morningstar. Ooh, nice. Okay. Let's give that over to Deanne. Uh-huh. All right, that was a good deal. And let's go ahead and sell. Well, you know what? We'll hang on to that for now.
By your leave. By your leave.
And since we've seen combat and expended some spells, let's visit the Snowdrift Inn and get a night's rest.
A reasonable request?
Greetings, traveler. My name's Quimby, and welcome you to my inn.
Well met, Quimby. You seem rather enthusiastic.
Ah, yes, enthusiastic. Yes, it is rare that I get travelers at this time of the year. Thus, I want to welcome all of my guests. Ha ha ha.
Okay, how about the room, Quimby?
Adequate, recuperative, get what you pay for. Good solid mattress, clean linen, presentable.
We'll go with the merchant. Rent.
Thank you, Quimby.
By your
We're rested
leave.
and recuperated. It's time to head out in search of that caravan. Before we get too far, I'm gonna see if I can get Regis into the shadows. Come on, Regis. Regis.
Huh?
All right.
Okay.
Scout up ahead, Regis. Nothing there. Ah. Wolves? Yeah. And then, oh, look at that. Wagons and orc. Aha, we found our caravan. Uh-oh. Didn't want to do that pull just yet. Right. So. get a bless out here. Bless the party. Bless the rains in Africa.
Uh-huh.
Let's get Regis back in the fold.
How can I help?
Let's get Schreider shooting. They're not injured. And then we'll let the lead two take on whichever wolf comes in range first. Alright, this guy it is. Alright, good job, Archer. Now we'll get this guy going. We'll let the lead two take care of this guy. And Gelvin will do our bless. Sweet. 2 down, 1 to go. And that's all that does. And what's going on here, this auto pause, if I've not explained it yet, essentially it lets me reset and reload to make sure I've got everybody attacking a proper target. I turn off the AI because as we get Regis into the shadows, if he was AI, when he wandered up here and saw these 3 wolves, he would automatically go into attack. And that really kind of defeats the purpose of stealthing him in there and scouting out. So that's why I have the auto pause on, so I can manually control these characters. And forgive me guys, I want to get Regis in here, or maybe Strider, or maybe even Nesbeth. I want to get somebody in there behind that orc, so we can't sneak into that cavern that I see over there.
Sure.
Alright. And then everybody gang.
This one's mine.
Alright, it looks like we took him out before he got in there. So hopefully he's not been able to set off any triggers or alarms or let his buddies go
Watch
know
me
that we're
work.
here. Let's regather the party. To Volnish, do the honors.
I'm on it.
Alright, and that definitely looks like the caravan that we were looking for, and orcs in a cavern. All that said, I think we've done a good job today. We've made some good progress. I'm hoping you guys are liking the video here. If so, please hit that like button on the video so that I know you're enjoying it. Also, hit the subscribe and the notify for the channel so that you can see whenever I'm uploading new videos. And let me know what you think. I'm really enjoying this. Hoping you guys are enjoying it as well. Give me some comments and some feedback on how you like this so far. And this is Vorpal Planning signing off until we see you next time.